All right, ladies and gentlemen, traders, what's up? What's up? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back to another live session. Hope you guys are doing well, feeling good. It's a beautiful day here today, and we're looking forward to the momentum. We're looking forward to the action. So I'm going to write up the watch list, and we're going to be good to go. As usual, though, don't forget the disclaimer, right? Remember that day trading is risky. A lot of people out there are struggling, so take it slow. Utilize simulators, small size, practice, improve, and then as you become competent and experienced, that's where you can size up, right? So take it slow, take it easy. So I think IXHL looks the best here. I'm gonna put that one first, and the watch list will be good to go here. All right, there we are. Yeah, I think IXHL penny stock looks pretty good. We've had an extremely strong move here so far in pre-market. But the question remains the same, right? Into the open, are we going to be able to see continuation? Or are we going to start to see that pullback and that chop, right? All right, we got it posted into the alert section. I guess I'll post to the Gen chat too. Why not? And we are good to go. So IXHL pre-market highs, we got 45.76. Of course, we're trading within the 100th of the penny here. 45.76. I am curious as to how the spreads will be early. If we see that tight spread early, that could be a pretty good sign here. So we're in the consolidation. We got about a 10-cent range. We're seeing a pretty good bull flag here on the 5. And ideally here, I'd love to see the 5-minute candle make a new high, hold, and then retest high of day for a push to 50. So the setup itself looks pretty decent. Checking out the daily chart, this stock, let's see, the most notable candlesticks I'm seeing goes back to April 8th of this year, as well as March 19th, where we had a high of 118 and 138. So not seeing anything obvious in our current vicinity that could pose as resistance in terms of, rejection candles, EMAs, topping wicks. That's a lot of the time short sellers will pay attention to these areas to get a potential entry or maybe even add to a trade. The 200 EMA here, for example, is at 165. We have been seeing stocks go from 30 cents, 20 cents up to 120, 130, 140. So not going to set that expectation, but we've been seeing it, and if this one happens to be that strong, we definitely want to jump on board and take part in the festivities. So IXHL looks wonderful here. Moving on to SEPN. SEPN next stock. This one, we got a nice move here. 62% push. Highs at 12.28. This might end up being the strong one today. It's possible. 12.28. Since then, though, we've pulled back. We've kind of held up the VWAP. We've pushed up a little, and then now we're back down again. And let's see. The most noticeable low point was 10.52. 10.52. Besides that, we did see a bottoming wick. 10.70. Is that 10.70? Let's double check. Yeah, 10.72. So, we'll see how it holds up. Being that the highs are 12.28, ideally, if we can hold up the $0.50 at least and then get back into this consolidation. I mean, it's a massive consolidation, but the closer we get to the high side, the more likely we are to break out and potentially see those new highs. And of course, a lot of my talks are centered around the breakouts because we love the uptrending momentum rather than sideways or down. Some people are pretty good at the backside flushes and, stocks selling off. But ideally for me, if we can get an uptrend and a nice smooth linear move, 13, 15, 18, that's where we can really lock in some nice trades. SEPN, we'll take a look at the daily chart here. I'm noticing the 200 EMA is at 1420. 1420. Besides that, we were consolidating around $23 or so back in December. And right into January is where the stock really sold off. The low side of that range was 1862 for what I'm seeing here. I can check the E-Trade chart maybe for a little bit more data. But 1862 according to TOS, and then 28.99. Just so we know, at least, once we get up there, it's where we can potentially see, again, more resistance. But it all depends, right? Sometimes these stocks, they blow right through these previous levels with no trouble at all. So SEPN looks decent. And then next up, we have Lucy and QNRX. Lucy, a very familiar name. We've traded this one before. Today it's up 53%. The history coming back here and repeating itself once again. So 97 for pre-market highs, 397. As of recent, we had 346 and a big push. And low of the current pullback here, 297. So 297 by 346. We've been making new lows. I'd like to see us retake the VWAP at least and then start to climb it. That's at 315, 314. And, slowly but surely, if we can get into the 20s, get over this bit of a midpoint here, and then retest the pre-market highs, would be pretty good to see. So let's double check. The 200 EMA is at 521 today. Down from 603 last time we traded the stock. So our last big move was on April 10th, where we had 14 million shares of volume. We had a low of 216, high of 556. It was a pretty strong candle, but the next day, the very next day, stock back down at $2. It looks like it happened after hours, because the candle held up, and then the next day we're in the absolute depths. So I'd say that would be a good target, if we can see 550, 520, even at the 200 EMA from 3 to 5, pretty decent push. So Lucy, we'll see if this one can be old reliable once again today. QNRX next up. QNRX. QNRX up 44%, 6.5 million shares of volume. I'm going to clear my drawing set here. So we got highs at 1292. The low of the entire move has been 866. And pattern wise, I mean, we had the first push around 7 a.m., 7:30. We've had to pull back some chop. By the way, there's my alarm for the screen recording. I'll go ahead and do that. Last night, we'll get to that in a sec, but last night we were studying, looking back at some older footage, and I'm definitely seeing that some of what was working back then in terms of the stronger opportunities, it's not quite the same today, right? Like the risk, like I'm looking back at some trades, like bro, like the risk I was taking is beyond like crazy, but it's in that market it was working so well, right? So it's always good when you're reviewing and noticing these key things. So now today I'm thinking to be a little bit more careful even with the dips off of the highs, especially if it's a massive move. But yeah, anyhow, it's coming back to QNRX. I'm gonna check out the daily chart here. I'll use E-Trade. Good old E-Trade, E-Trade Pro. And guys, by the way, shout out to the large cap stocks. I mean, just impressive, it's crazy. There's always risk, I'll say that. But you would never think that it's so easy to make money. As in buying this dip and stocks just back up off of this, trade war nonsense that we knew wasn't like a real catalyst, like that was like earnings are still good, everything's still good, and stocks are down 50%, 30%, whatever. And I mean it's crazy, right? To get back to the highs is like 50% or more for a lot of these stocks. So shout out to the large caps, which is absolutely ballooning the last couple days. So I'm noticing on QNRX we have a lot of topping wicks. The most recent one 1470 and then 1645. So this one is famous for moving up and selling off. Moving up and selling off. 1470 and then again at 1645. So, maybe it's not the type of stock to be holding too long. If it does start to give a push, maybe, instead of holding any sort of 5-minute setup for a few minutes at a time, or even the 1-minute dip holding for a couple of minutes, maybe it might be best to just take the quick couple of cents, take the quick gains, and perhaps just lock it in, not overstay. Because all the big moves with volume is just right back down on the daily chart. 1610 as well, another level. Stock is cooked. Topping Wicks City, even going back all the way here. But anyhow, that's the watch list there. Again, into the open. IXHL. So I'm going to come back to this one, check out the chart. But I'm noticing here, though, we are, on a bit of a pullback, and we're making lower highs, which is not ideal. But I think it is fine. I mean, we are up significantly. So if it does go sideways for the first 30 minutes, 20 minutes, that's not a problem. But we would love to see, if this can get up to like 70 cents. I mean, that would be amazing. Maybe break of one, even better. But these are the moves that we wish we would see during the open more. And, not so long ago, we would see a lot of these. Nowadays, it seems like pre-market is just stealing all the opportunities, man. I mean, I hate to be a bit of a pre-market hater because I love to trade the open, utilizing the market orders. But this is just too. I mean, look at how clean the move is, right? Can the price action be a little tricky at times, of course, but in terms of the candlesticks here, IXHL, I mean, this is our dream into the open. If we can get one stock every day from 9:31 a.m. to give a move like this into 10:30, that's all we would ever need. So hopefully, I'll be starting with small size here today as well, but hopefully we can see, some continuation. Small size for this stock will be, I said 38 cents each penny. I think about 6,000, and then I'll have bigger size, but maybe even a little more. I'll say 7,000, and then I'll have bigger size though. If it happens to be good right away, I want to go over 10,000 and then push more and more. Check the limits on stocks like this. Last year we were using probably 50,000 shares, in one order. So it's like 7,000 shares is definitely kind of small. But again, it depends. As we go, we'll see. But in terms of the game plan, starting slow, the key will be to identify the strong stock. Once we do get that stock going in motion, I want to be very disciplined, but also very precise at the same time. Watching film, it's going to come down to taking those key trades with confidence, not selling the position with paper hands. Yesterday, we did have a trade where we made that mistake, but instead holding firmly and letting the stock curl up, especially when we're still above our cost basis, right? So here we go as we're heading into the open. 35 for lows, 35. 35 by 38. I'm going to come up in size a little more. 38.8 for the highs. I'd say about 39 is where we really get over that like lower highs channel that we had. I do have on a fan, so if the mic sounds a little loud, there's 41. My goodness, bro. The moment I size up for the hot move. Good old classic. I'm gonna turn off this fan just in case it's making a wind noise here. So I wanted to see us above 39 for some good strength there, but so much for the opening surge. Okay, moving on. There's another one, QNRX. I'm gonna check the scans here. SEEN. How are we doing? Bro, these stocks that keep selling off aggressively after a nice quick move. Checking out the scans. How's Lucy looking? We could see a red to green or two on a few of them. Lucy's moved up a little bit. 291 for lows. We got a push to 324. Not bad. We'll see if Lucy's able to hold above the VWAP. Lucy's also having some trouble. Big sell off. IXHL went from looking pretty good like the strong stock to the depths, so waiting. SEPN, keeping an eye on this one. The volume is definitely a little lighter. And it is coming down. SEPN, no good. The consolidation below the VWAP flushing out. IXHL, HWH. I'm gonna check out some of the other ones. Okay, IXHL did make a red to green here. The highs are at 43 cents. We're seeing some buying, but you know, it's just a bit of a churn. Can we keep holding? It seems like we can. I didn't trust that dip, but it held up. You definitely don't expect that type of breakout, but it happened. If you're aggressive for 43 for the breakout trade, you capture that move right there. There's a bit of selling here at 50. Can we push through? It's propping up a little bit, but is this enough? Of course, looking for a retest of the highs, but waiting. Bills are kind of rough. We could see a little lower. Oh, that's just sad, man. It flirted going lower and held. I missed the dip. Selling again. Nice bounce to 47 to 53, 6 cents. Pretty nice. Bro, I was just waiting for that reclaim to just go crazy with. Lows 49. Can we see it in this candle? We're seeing higher lows, which is good. Wait, what? Okay. I kind of misread the low of the candlestick there. Not quite yet. Just watching and waiting. think we will see the move. It's just a matter of time. It's definitely chopping around though. Bro, like that type of dip, the volume comes so slow. It's a high day breakout. We got 11 million shares there too. $58, the new high, 58. A lot of the dips, I'm expecting a little bit more volume, but the volume is coming in pretty slow. So that longer hold is a little bit definitely mandatory for these dips. Longer hold as in like a couple more seconds. The halt is at 71. So I'm telling myself there, maybe I'm being a little too scalpy to ease off. The moment I stop, stock goes like, come on, man. But anyhow, it's nice push. 50, 58 to 70. Pretty good. The halt is at 78. It's pretty extended here. The halt up is at 83. The halt down 53, which is a ways away. Bro, the moment I tell myself, okay, I'm being maybe a little too scalpy in the spread, the stock then explodes. I'm on the sidelines here. I mean, I think if it gets halted up, that could provide a potential setup, but it's just way too extended here. And the train perhaps left the station. Ah, this is like comical at this point, bro. Like, I kind of back off a little bit, drop my trend lines. I'm like, okay, let's just wait for the bigger pullbacks towards the low of the range. The moment. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Oh, man. We'll see if any of the others also give a push. Big Steve. This resumption could be backside, is possible. Could be backside. Unless the stock is going to go all the way to 1 and beyond. Another thing too is in that last breakout over the longer consolidation, which was this right here, the breakout was much more subtle versus this big green candle here. So this consolidation gave a very small push right here. So after this drop down and the chop in this green candle, I'm like, okay, let's just kind of wait. Let's just trade the range, less scalpy, try to get in with a longer hold, but not the best timing there. I'm gonna have smaller size for the resumption, just in case, to be careful in case it is backside. There's always the chance that they could keep going. So maybe we see 90, 95, 1, but in case it sells off, just in case. We got 56 seconds. $25 seconds. It's showing 80, so 4 cents lower. There are sellers. There's 72. The halt down 64. Can we see 73 again? 72. There's 71. Couple cents. There was a seller there, 73. It's over the seller. Let's see. Over 77, I think it'll go, but we'll see if it dips first. It might dip first. It's pretty tight. Tight stop. Yeah, it's pretty tight. That would have been a tight dip. So 70. A bit of a floating order there. Can a 1 minute candle make the new high? There's buying, but we're not really getting like a strong pull away, at least not yet. Okay. Can we see 77? Over 77, it could still go. Just got to be careful of the rejection. $79. Over 80, over 80. Just be careful of the pullback in case it happens here for like a double top. Yeah, okay. So we got 8-1 right there, I think. 8-2? No, 8-4 actually. So it's a double top. Yeah, not off by maybe like a 2/10 of a penny. Hmm, man. 7-3 held up there. Bro, I'm in like disbelief that I missed that move. Like it's just, and I can't focus. I literally can't focus. in the depths mentally here. 84 for the highs, 84. I mean, it's hard to say what it'll do here. It's the chart. I mean, the stock is up. So I mean, in pre-market, I mentioned if we can see a move to like 70 or 80, right? It's hard to tell what the stock will do at this point. Pattern still, it's holding up. Of course, it's up X amount. Man, bro, I'm like just like this trading thing, man. Is anybody else going crazy or is it just me? Oh man, I'm kind of in my own head, as you know, right? Like if you go to the bathroom and the stock makes the move, it has nothing to do with you. Like it has nothing to do with you, right? And now I'm having a hard time thinking like the moment I decide to stop with the quick scalps, that the next 5 seconds it seemed. Man. So, the key is to just stay focused, stay locked in. I mean, who knows? The stock might go to one. And if we're too distracted, we're not going to make anything. It held up 70, which was good. A bit of a double bottom on the 1 minute. The last 5 minute candle stick was pretty weak. But we'll see if this 5 minute candle can maybe recover a little bit, and because it's still one massive flag here. One massive flag still. Man, what a move. And that move happened at the speed of light too, over like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. It might come down a bit. It's possible here. We're seeing a couple more topping wicks. It'll be interesting to see if it holds up the lows. If not, again, probably a big washout. I haven't really done anything here, so the last thing I want to do is like if this is the trend down to trade this. So I'm waiting. If it's gonna bounce, I'm waiting here for like more confirmation. I do not want to trade anything going down. It's bouncing. It bounced quickly, or I already jumped in. It went from 62 to 66 on the spreads. So that's a good bounce there, but is that enough confirmation? That's the question. I'm gonna size down just to be safe. We'll see if it still has the volume as well. That's interesting. But I think over 67, 68 is where it really like looks good. And there's a 4 cent jump over 69. So we could see a red to green. Man, it just kind of goes when it gets ready. But does it have what it takes to for 80, or will we see just low 70s? Does it have what it takes for high 70s, mid 70s, or will we just see low 70s? So far, there's some good buying. What we need is for a big jump again. 74. We'll see if there's an early pullback. And this could be the early pullback. Is it going to be a little tighter? Tight stops. The volume on this candlestick needs to be high when we get closer to the close of the candle on the 5 because we have some monster red candles. We got to at least be able to stand side by side. Okay. Can we see 73? Oh, it's right back to 69 here. So it could be a little lower. If not, it's probably going to be right back down there. 6.6. Give me 6.7, 6.8. And the spreads are brutal. We literally had 6.7 by 6.8 there. Time. There's only 28 seconds left. So if we don't see anything good here, I'll take off some. 7, 6.8, 6.9. 15 seconds left in the candlestick. Our volume is kind of lacking a little bit. 8 seconds. Are we going to see buying into the close? Bro, this man, I've never had something ever make me go so crazy before in my life. Like this field, man. It seems like every day there's like something slightly different, you know? This looks like it's coming down. How do I not make money here? And I'm saying that because with how this thing moved from start to end, and you know, of course, in the first minute, I think the opening surge continues to get me, man. The stock looks so good early and then immediately is below the lows. 35 to 41 to then 32. It's still looking good here. It curled up from 66 again. I'm interested in getting back in. It could break out again here. Seven four though is the 7.4 is the level. 74 cents. Man, this is the type of stock to be up 10, 15, 20, 30, 50, 50,000 on a stock like this. Here we are in the depths. That's a tough fill. I want to see a fluent move through all these sellers here. Couple cents bounce. Time, 30 seconds. I don't know. It's like it's showing some signs, but again, the volume I think is the key, and right now the volume is weaker here. Man, I'm gonna have my full head of hair be gray by the time I'm 35. I can see it already. Unless I start trading better here, because what is this? Man, I'm gonna have to start doing some relentless therapy session here with the team. New series will be coming soon. 6-2 held up a little there. Big Steve, that's not the answer we want to hear, bro. I did something that I'm thinking about too is that when I took the big loss, so I took 25,000 shares at like 38 or 40, I think, on it 38 at the dip off of 41. And when we made the new low, I switched to see if any of the other stocks were hot. It's good to kind of stick around a little longer sometimes to see the red to green over 35 if we pushed up nicely, but pretty tough. This setup right here also, we sold 1 second before this green candle. The stock is fighting here though. We got 62. I think if it's able to get back over 74, it'll be interesting, but I am not really looking to trade it until it gets past that level. 72, 74 area. Anything else might be a little too risky for me in case the flush out really happens. Man. Maybe Beam did well. Hopefully Beam, at least Beam probably got something, right? And day trading. We love it. We love what we do here. We love what we do, but it doesn't mean that it's easy. And you got to be on your game mentally, or you can have mistakes. I essentially ran out of patience, is what to sum up what happened to me, because I have my style and my approach that I'm utilizing, and I then kind of say to myself, okay, we'll just take it a little slower. The stock outlasted my discipline, and so I kind of switched the approach a little bit. I didn't say this to the stream, but in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna just take it easy here. And a lot of that though is because the candlestick at 9:58 Eastern time was such a slow breakout that I kind of lost faith a little bit that the stock could move aggressively. So I'm like, okay, we're just gonna wait for the next red candle and just be a little bit more firm with the dip. And as a result, we didn't even consider the high of the scalp right here or at the highs. And at this point, FOMO kicks in. You start to feel like you just missed the entire move. When you're capturing this type of candlestick, when you're capturing this candlestick, it becomes very easy to buy the high again in these areas, because you have that fresh cushion. You can risk a little bit of what you've made, but missing the breakout and then trying to buy here seems too high, and then the stock keeps going, and then you start to feel even more crazy. So, and funny enough, right? In the opening statements earlier, I'm mentioning how looking back at some of the crazy scalps I was taking is not working super well in this market, right? It's kind of like this inconsistency sometimes from the momentum where I'm taking every single dip in the green candle all the way through the highs, and it's blazing, again, a day like yesterday, right? Or was it Monday? It's like the first sign of a red candle, the stock is obliterating on the backside. And it's a testament, at least, to how great the field can be that, again, it's the second day where I'm grading my trading maybe like a 4 out of 10, and we made something on the stock. So, you know, there's opportunities for sure. Checking the scans. Do we have anything? Volume on INM pretty low here. Checking the watch list stocks. Do not, I would say, for anybody who might have missed the move, hopefully you all capitalized, but if you did miss the move, if you're now showing up, maybe you woke up late or whatever, but do not trade the backside here, would be my recommendation if you're going to try to have a massive green day. Unless maybe this is your specialty. We did have a guy named High on Stocks that this massive sell off is where he somehow always make the biggest set of gains on his day. But if you're not like a backside trader, be very careful because you don't have the upside in your favor. SEPN, perhaps this one is getting ready. The volume could be better here though, so for me, extremely small size first. All right, Beam said he did all right, so that's good. That's good. Classy Beam. Seems like everything else is either sold off or sideways at the lows. QNRX sold off. LUCY. How do I become satisfied with a day like today, right? This is the thing with trading, right? How do I become satisfied with a day like this when I know I traded so poorly and I missed so much of the momentum. Like some people might look at the screen on the stock and say, well, you made, you're up $800 today, right? Like you made 1K on the stock. But it feels like that is miles below what I know I could have done. And that alone kind of haunts the rest of the day, even if there's a hot stock that comes where we dominate, maybe INM or something. It's like this feeling of knowing that you missed such a hot move. It's like there's nothing you can do about it till the next day. And it's not to say that we're like obsessed, but you kind of just underperformed and you're mad, you're frustrated. So I'm thinking about how to help manage and deal with these emotions. What I've told myself in the past is that there's going to be a million more days like this and stocks like that. But then when you mess up the next day, you know, there's only so many times you say that to yourself, right? Like it is true. There's going to be a million more stocks like this, but we can't keep affording to mess up, mistakes, missed opportunities. Man, Big Steve, I need a, oh, I guess we can call Mighty here too. We need a Mighty therapy session here. Pastor is raging on the inside just a little bit. I am selling off. So it doesn't seem like anything else is moving right now. This is where a lot of traders typically would leave out for the day and just, maybe come back tomorrow if they're just trading the first hour or two. For anybody going till 4 p.m., of course, they'll still stick around and turn their scans, turn up the volume on the scanners. I'm wondering if I'm getting too frustrated at missing entries, because you always want to stay cool, clear, calm, collected. Sometimes I feel like I'm getting unlucky, but at this point, it's our trading. Like we're messing up too much in some key areas. The stocks are also moving a little differently. Again, so from studying, I'm recognizing that a lot of the stocks are moving a little differently. Certain volume spikes and how quickly the stock would usually react in some areas, it's taking a little longer. And so if you're not holding, let's just say my average hold time is like 5 or 8 seconds. If I'm not holding for that 13 to 15, 16 second mark, I'm potentially missing the trade. Where in the past, if I'm holding for that amount of time, we're making a new low, right? So it's like a small rewiring of your brain, which saying it out loud, it seems so easy to do. Like the moment I say that, I should be able to do it instantly, right? But you kind of train for so long on that one type of thing that when you have to rewire it, it's like your brain is almost like malfunctioning in a way. So you definitely have to be mindful of that, like for any adjustments that you're seeing that you have to make, and then continue to repetition, right? Continue to look at it over and over in the reviews and try to force yourself. That's where the discipline comes in. Try to force yourself in the moment to stick to the trade idea that you're seeing that's working for this type of market. If not, you're going to be fumbling the trades. Man, what a day. So just on the sidelines until something hits the scan here. Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Whilst right now we're kind of struggling, I'm guaranteeing you guys, guarantee 100%, man, 100%. Mark my words when I say you guys are gonna see me fly even higher than I've flown in the past. Like, I can feel the green coming. I can feel the hotter, more consistent months. I can feel the record green days. And it's gonna feel that much better than going through this rougher patch now. It's gonna be it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be sensational, and we're gonna treat ourselves too. We're gonna treat ourselves for sure. Steak dinner every night when we're going through the hotter periods. Whatever it takes to feel good, right? To reward ourselves for the adjustment after it's been made completely. Yeah, Big Steve, we've been saying that before, 5, 6 years ago. And even on a day like today, where it's a mess of a day, we managed to make something on the stock. But the days are going to come where we're going to be rivaling guys like Save. We're going to say, Save, man, we appreciate you showing that you could make this type of money. But now we have arrived ourselves. I mean, it's interesting, in the team house, out of the team house, even if you go to Twitter, there's some crazy stuff going on, man. We met a couple of guys who were like insane traders as well. One gentleman we met, total P&L 60 million. Even the guy I just mentioned, high on stocks, he was in our chat room a while ago. He had a YouTube channel, by the way. I can pull that up. I think this is back in 2020, I think, during the pandemic, 2021 perhaps. I think, was one of the bigger traders in the chat room at that time. Shout out to him. I don't know what's happened to him since then. I know he left the chat, but we had a little bit like a disagreement, but he left the chat. But he had stretches where he'd do like 30, 40K a day every day. And back then most of us are making like $400 a day, $300 a day. Even guys like Marcelo back then was just making like $400 a day, 500 a day. That year, I remember him. So there's another guy named Red to Green. Like, I finished at like 60,000. Red to Green finished 105K that year. Mighty finished like 92,000. And we're talking to guys like high on stocks that's made millions already, and it's like, man, like, it's good to know that this can be done. And then it kind of motivates you to then study even more, work even harder, because all you need to know is to see that it's real, right? Like, seeing that guy, like these people, when you see these people too in real life, it's like we don't want to take anything away from their greatness, but it's like normal average people, right? Whether it's myself, Marcelo, the team house guys, the guy who's up 60 million, is like, you could walk past him on the road and never even think that he's anything of like a trader or anything. So it's a field that doesn't judge. There is no bias, no matter how much in our mind we could sometimes think. Again, the example of leaving to the bathroom and then the stock goes, like, none of that exists. It's just pure skills. If we can keep getting better, the money is there smiling at us if we can keep improving on our discipline and our technical analysis. So the moment I'm done here, I'm going straight to study again, because tomorrow I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to keep forcing myself to make the change. Keep trying to make adjustments until you become more refined over time. Right now, there's nothing to worry about for anybody who might be in a rough patch. If you're red on the year, that stuff means nothing for what's to come if you're gonna keep putting in the work today for the better tomorrow. So right now, be excited and know that your greatness is gonna pay off, coming sooner than we expect as well. So, Big Steve, that is the motivational speech for the day. Our trading might have been a 4 out of 10, but the motivational speech, 10 out of 10, always. Bro. This is where we got to say we want the smoke as well, right? Like we got to look forward to the market being strong. We have to be ready to expect the unexpected. And the expectation is if we're lucky enough tomorrow to get something similar, right? It could be a different price range. It could, but if we're lucky to get something similar, we got to put ourselves in position to succeed. And we have to look forward to the challenge of making the adjustment real time in the moment. If we get especially if it's the same penny stock tomorrow or later today, whatever it might be, in those key moments, we gotta, whatever it is for each of us individually. Sometimes it's different things for the different traders. You gotta stick to your guns and go. Look forward to making the adjustment, cutting the trade quicker. For me, today happened to be running out of patience, and I told myself, like to hell with scalping this thing because it's like it's not giving any bigger moves here. Part of the deal. So KLTO being mentioned. And as we're rambling on, of course, there's another penny moving. Okay, okay. So around 10 a.m., 14 cents, and the penny stocks 14 cents to 42 to then 55 to then 33. Higher lows below 33. And now we've had an ABCD over 44, which means we could potentially see an early pullback, which is kind of what's happening now. So if we're quick enough here, we could get involved, especially if it consolidates for a little bit. The 1 minute candle to make the new high. There's 47. Okay. It can move quickly. It's holding above 46 for now. Can we continue to do so? There's 45.5. Tight stops. 45. It's coming down a bit. So a bit of a rejection of that 47 level there. And the 5 minute candle, there's about 2 minutes. So this is a bit of an ABCD. It can turn into more of like a cup handle kind of formation here if this ends up flagging a little longer in this area. So I think it's still pretty bullish here, right? If we can continue to hold. Got to be ready for new lows though, just in case. $42.9, 43, 42.5, 42.4. Trying 42.5 with tight stops. Now I'm going to try to work this range and then I'm going to be willing to scalp back over the highs. 42.7. So, we'll see how range bound it is here. We had what, 44 there? So there's 42. 41, 2. There's 40. I got a fairly high fill there off of 40. And there's a sand, there's a sand, there's a sand. Can we see more? Can we see more? Okay, a little bit more. My fills are in the depths though. So again, we have to be ready for new lows there. So, you know, again, below the V, like right at the VWAP would make sense. The fills, I think, aren't the best, but if we're quick, we could still manage. We'll see how this flag plays out over the next 5 to 10 minutes. There's 4-1. It seems like the bounces right now aren't as high, so maybe a bit of a downtrend here for now. 4, 5, 40, 45. I know I'm saying like the number's a little weird here. 42 cents. I kind of have to say it like that so it makes sense. 40.50 came and we're back up here 42.9. So that's a bigger bounce right there. Pretty good. I'm going to miss that one. This is probably the biggest bounce to this point here since the pullback. Big Steve, we're going to rise like a phoenix, bro. Bro, the day that I stop improving is the day that I will die because I'm going to keep, I don't care what it takes. It doesn't matter what it takes. I'm showing up here every day, showing up here doing it live. I don't care if we're losing on a day. Like I'm every day, every single day. And the tougher it gets, the more I'm gonna study. That's it. It's that simple. The more work I'm gonna just keep putting in. We gotta be determined here to win, to succeed. Bro, there's no way. So, you know, let's be excited here once again. You see right there, that fill was brutal. That's a brutal fill. That's the 2 cent higher fill. And it's a good pullback too. It's just tough that they kind of fill me right there, you know. There's people pretty big bids coming in. Because I'm in so high, I have to take some of it off. 2 cent higher fill, man, you know, come on. That is tough. The consolidation is still, you know, it's a little lower than I would like here. So I'm hoping we're to hold up the VWAP nicely. Our fill right there was pretty bad, or else we could have given that a good chance there for the cup and handle pattern here. It's a bit of an ABCD into a flag. I'll call it a cup and handle. We need to see over 43. Over 43 is where we can see a retest of 50. But similar to IXHL, if this starts to like break down below 37, 38, that's where for me I like not really look to get involved. It needs to be uptrending. The volume is a little lighter than I'd expect, but waiting. Bigger seller at 40, walking down the ladder. Shares getting bought up. Again, you know, a pretty big level at VWAP for us to continue to hold. I am interested in adding over 42 if we see high volume. There's another seller, not an instant reaction waiting. Okay. It's coming down a bit. We're seeing sellers right on top of us here, so 100,000 shares, 40, 20. Walking down. Will they get bought up? 40. All right, I'm going to hold this position here a little longer. See if we can get over 42. I wouldn't mind adding a small amount over 42. If we prove that we're going to hold here, I can add a small amount. If it's good, there should be a breakout trade, but again, you know, it's kind of back down here again. 40, 30. We have like a flat top up there, 42, 43 area. Stopping out scratch on the rest. The new 5-minute candle is 4 minutes out. So all of this is me just, you know, looking to see if this one is going to give a red to green. If not, then I definitely don't want to be, you know, again, if it breaks down like 38, 37, I'm not touching it. Okay, 43. Dang, the fills, man. Okay, 44. This is where we can see 47. Oh, and my size. Oh, no. I forgot okay, that's okay. I'll still treat the trade the same. I told this for 47, 46. I changed my thing to 1K to scale out and forgot to size back up. And taking half there. Okay, that's cool. The trade ID is all that matters. The money will follow. The 5-minute candle did make the new high. We could see an early pullback still. So taking 43 right here. Tight stop. And watching. But this is where I'd expect the volume to come in a little bit more aggressively. 45, 46. We got over that flat top. 42, 43. Where's KB? There's KB. There's KB right there. Right there, right on cue. There's nothing telling me it shouldn't keep going here. So I'm going to keep scalping the micro range. Oh, 50 instantly rejected. Waiting. Will we see a quick dip? 48. I did miss out on a good 200-300 there. Not having the right size, but all good. Do I want to push the limits upsize? There'll be a lot of risk. Watching the first dip. Tight stops. We could go lower. This would be pretty tight. Again, that's pretty high still, 47, but you know, 55 will be the target here. Come on. I might, oh, I gotta be careful with adding. Taking 47.6. Tight stop. Come on. What was the... Okay. If it breaks and hold 50, I'll size up. Where's KB? Adding. There's nothing telling me it's not gonna go. Waiting. Waiting. Adding again. You see, this is where I expect a quicker move. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Son of a gun. Son of a gun. I expect a quicker move here, but it's like churning at 53. I probably should have held that last position, but I'm going to take it off. Taking 50, tight stop. There's 54. Looking to get back in. I'm back in. Can we see over 55 for the new high? It's hesitating. I'm going to get back in, though, if it goes. There it is. Can we see 60? Can we see 60? Tight stop. Tight. Oh, it stopped me out. Bro, this is what the freaking trading needs to look like compared to the garbage we just did. You know, like the opportunities here. 55. Let's see if it dips down some more or not. The volume is still high, but want to be careful of the dip. We had 51 right there. 56. We got 56, so a new high by 1 cent. Forgot to put up the 1 minute. 51, okay. Watching for the baby pullbacks. Tights. I want to keep it. It could flush here, but I want to keep it tight as I can. Just in case it gives the bigger flush out to like maybe 48. But I'm taking it high in case it doesn't dip. 52. 52. 52.3. 52. 52.3. Okay. 51.6. Taking out 48 dip, 49 dip. I'm filled fairly high, of course. If it doesn't slingshot, I want to wait because it might be selling off. Okay, I think I'll just cut it. Our 5-minute candle has what, 1 minute? It needs to balance or else it's like a false breakout double top. It might be in the depths. Oh, that's not good. Okay, watching the dip here. I think there'll be a bounce. Taking 43. Can we see 46 bounce? Come on, KB. Come on, come on. 45, 45, 45. Okay, I'll take the 1 cent. Well, that's the old-fashioned rejection of the highs. It's like once we got to 56, like, do we need to go to 48? Like, it's too low. It's like too low off the highs. 50, 52, 52 would have been great. The question is, what is the stock going to do now? We didn't sell all the way off right away, so there's a chance we consolidate here and slowly curl back up to 50. So I'm going to wait patiently and watch like a hawk, just in case it still has some life. If not, then that's it. We're probably going to see a bear flag. Probably. Oh, 49. I mean, this is a quick red to green compared to what I would have expected. That's fine. 50. Shoot. Hmm. Let's see. Well, this is a strong bounce. I mean, from 43 to 50. I'm watching to see if there's an early pullback. If not, then it probably will just go. Because this is a pretty quick bounce here. No bear flag, no consolidation at the lows at 40, 43. It's immediately back up. How low? If we see this, if this ends up being a red candle, how low are we gonna go? Can't talk here. 49. We got 47.5 by 49, and there's 49. I'm gonna try for 50. It's a risky, aggressive trade here, but oh no, no, that is brutal. 48. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, the early pullback probably was the better move than the breakout there for 50. Would have been nice to see 51 at least, but tough, tough candlestick. All right, just waiting. Waiting. That's mixed. 6, 8. In theory, it's like you could hold out position, but we'll probably bounce here in a little in the zone here. We'll probably bounce a little bit. But we're seeing a new consolidation, and I think over 50 again is where we can see the breakout. I'm only still watching it because it dropped down aggressively and didn't sell off. Like as in below VWAP sell off. A guy like Dynamo right now is in 44, 60,000 size waiting. The Dynamo strategy. 47 by 48. Okay, let's lock in here to see if the breakout might happen. It's a little early in the move still, but you know, just in case. The question is if I want to try again. Last time I'm in 50, I'm seeing 48. You know, that kind of discourages me from trying again at the high here. If you can get like break-even trades, which is a little harder to do at the highs, then it's better. But if not, and I'm not trying, and is it gonna go? Dang, it's a churn. Man, the fills are brutal too. It's trying, but you know, it's not an instant. I got a high fill on the dip there. There's 50, 50, 49.7, 49.7. There's hidden sellers, bro. Even that order should have pushed it. Like, this is the depths. There's a seller here. Because the ask price is telling me there's nothing. So if I buy 20,000, it should go at least a tenth of a penny. So there's littered with hidden sellers here. So I'm gonna wait. Let it do its thing, and man, okay. 54, 50, 40, 50, 40. Don't you dare. Don't you think about it. And again, I'm in high, which is just, you know, not ideal. I'm gonna put out some orders on the bids. Oh, okay, the spreads are tight here. Don't you collapse. Don't you think about it. Forcing myself not to cut the trade early. I'm looking forward to making the adjustment real time. Come on. Show me the sweet bounce. Probably didn't need to cut that. I didn't need to cut that. That was nice. Should have sold some. That could have been a good base in case it held. And it looks like it might. It could break down and reclaim the level here though. Okay, the selling pressure is on. Big level here. Still fighting. It could come down though. Are we gonna reclaim? Are we gonna reclaim? No. Okay. Losses. See, this 5-minute candlestick is like failing here, man. Like 48. 49. 5-minute candle went to the depths. So it might happen on this candlestick then. I don't like this. This is like just too much, man. This is a breakdown here. The last time we dropped to 44, it got back to 49 in 2 minutes. And I don't know, I mean, the volume is light though. Time, candlestick is young. Could we see a red to green back to 50 again? The selling volume is light. Well, I should have jumped in. I didn't jump in. My analysis is too slow. Okay. Uh, we'll see what it does here. It seems like it's still strong, but you know, we got to be on our toes just in case. There's a hidden seller at 45, it would seem. This is big level here. I think we could see 50 again, but I'm not willing to get to just like let the gain sit there. I want to take something off at least, just to be safe, just in case it does this, just in case it takes me to the depths. Bro, there's no reason why we can't do this on every stock like this. This is the way to go, Big Steve. Firm, decisive, discipline, not cutting the trades too soon, thinking ahead. And forgetting the past, like leaving any missed opportunity behind and just focusing on what's in front of us. It's so it's so funny how you can quote unquote get lucky and catch all the moves when you're doing all the right things. So tomorrow, if this one is done here, we have to be firm. Bro, from the tomorrow, bro, watch. From the moment I show up here, I'll be ready. From the moment I turn on my computer, I'll be ready. We had lows right there below the VWAP, but we did spring back above. Again, you know, it's the type for the people that go to 4 p.m. This is what they're doing, right? They're just gonna keep watching these type of stocks until they just prove that they're done. You know, you kind of just rank and repeat from stock to stock if there's something moving. If not, then you're on the sidelines. So if it keeps holding up that new low, then you know maybe there's a chance. Still fighting. Yeah, IXHL does seem pretty interesting. I mean, that one is given quite the red to green, actually. I haven't looked over it yet. Yeah, this definitely will be good to get a good round two if this one here sells off. It looks like it might. All right, bro. Now with a clear mind, let me see what I can do on this one. All right, let's quickly do our analysis here. So it looks like we had an ABCD. It was a nice breakout. We then pushed up all the way to high of, well, no, not high of day. This looks like we can get a flat top breakout going. And the target would be 73, but we're right here, 70, 68, 3, 69. The volume kind of slow. Okay. 710, 710. It's holding. Can we see 72, 72? We had a nice breakout just now. We'll see if there's an early pullback. We might see an early pullback here before it goes, which can give us an opportunity. But we'll have to wait and see. I think we got the range mapped out here. And high of days at 84. We can put a quick trend line up here just to remind ourselves. Let's put it in yellow. All right, now we can lock in here. Six, eight. I think I want to be patient here. I mean, I'll try to break out with smaller size, but in case we do pull back, I think maybe there could be a better opportunity for the dip. IXHL. Okay, there we go. Will we see? We did have one already since that last breakout though, so it's possible that we flag high and just keep going. So I want to be ready for a breakout or a dip, high or low. Either or. Time 11:34. I think it's time for the chair, though my back is starting to fade. 684. Let's get a better zoom on this. 681. Just being patient here. 76, 675, 675. This is a little bit aggressive, but waiting, watching. Okay. Bit of a scratch trade. 661. 661. Trying 661. There's 6.5. There's 6.4. 6.3. It's a big drop. We're gonna try to cut it as quickly. I mean, that was fast. So there's like a 5-minute pullback here. Okay. How well are we gonna hold 6.3 for the lows, right? 6.2 actually. 6.299. 6.3 for the lows. It's a quick bottoming wick. Oh, that was a brutal drop. So we anticipated that we could see the pullback, but the pullback ended up being very, very. And look at how quickly it's back up. Harder to anticipate that bigger flush though. 6.3 to 6.9, just like that. Wow. Okay. $70. Will we keep going or will we see another quick baby pullback? It's quite the balance there. Six, eight. I'm thinking to watch the breakout more so now because we had that massive pullback. I'm not nowhere near being in, so maybe a micro into the new high or a break and hold of the new high over 70. And over 70, I think there's a gap to fill between, to the high of day level. So I don't know how we will move. Like, is it going to give up 2 or 3 big green candles, or if it's going to be a grind? But if we can hold 70 and start to climb, then 84 becomes very realistic for a retest. And at that point, we'll have to just watch out for the double top. Big Steve asks Dynamo, what's his entry? We had a couple of setups here. Okay, I'm going to take a quick sec to get my chair. All right, just waiting patiently here. IXHL. This setup looks good, and if this stock gives like a 5-10 cent breakout, it'll be very important for us to capture this move early so that we can do well if it gets to 85, 90, break of one. If not, it's going to be tough. So we got to really be diligent. And more important than even capturing the move is just seeing how it plays out. Because if we're not even, if we're, let's say we're not in at 70 and it goes to 73, 74. If I see that clearly, it's as if I still took the trade, right? I can then still jump in. But if we get a little distracted and miss the push and don't quite see the price action, is where it really gets tough. There's some volume here. Throwing out an order just in case. There's 7. Can we hold? Can we hold? I'm going to add a small size. And it's not quite holding. Back out. Oh. Okay, yeah, it's choppy there. It's choppy. Good attempt. Good attempt. Fair attempt. Pretty fair attempt. Can't be upset with that. Fair is fair. Fair is fair. You know, just as easily and they go, right? Instead of this drop back down right here, we're back up. So there's a bid this time. Trying it again. Come on. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Show us 74. Right now, I want to give this position a chance and not paper hands because we're holding above 70 here, which means we can start filling that gap. I think 74, the next level, once we get over 74, is where maybe we can start to move at a little bit more pace. So I'm not going to sell just yet, waiting. Not unless it stops me out. That has to be the mindset here. I'm going to watch for the ad back as well. Orders are a little slow to fill, but that's fine. Watching. Even over 73 could be interesting. Where's KB? This is the time KB needs to shine, man. Big breakout, big move, big spike. Where are those bulls? The volume there could have been better. 7-2. Are we seeing a later volume push here? 723. Can we see over 7.3? 7.3. Dips will be good here. Dips will be good. It almost seems like it doesn't want to dip. Trying 75.5. The dips are actually, again, the dips are a little slow to play out here. Damn it, bro. That freaking dips. They're selling here for sure. It's like we're not boosting as we should. It might still come, but the orders are lagging badly. So I'm in at 70. I took profit 76. The baby pullbacks, the micros. All right, is this it? It's like a short seller's hanging by a thread here. I want to make sure that I'm in the moment volume is in or on the micros. Is this where we get the explosion? Is this it, Big Steve? Is this it? Big Steve, is this it? Is this it? Over 80, over 80, over 80. Rip, rip. Oh, dang. Kind of like a rejection of 80 there. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That we don't want to see. See, that's where we should have spiked up to like 85, but I mean, it's still here. My lip is so freaking choppy. Ever since I put in these Invisaligns, I'm cooked. I'm watching here over 80 if we can see the move. If not, watching. I might have to take the breakout, which I didn't want to do. I hesitated on that dip down there. It's not in. Is it going?
This is a tough trade to be taking, bro. $92 is the halt up. It definitely seems as if it gives the big push like we know it can, that could be a target. Waiting patiently. I don't like how the orders take that second to fill. I think it could pull back. I mean, it's possible, but I think it's brewing still. Like, we haven't seen the real move yet, I don't think. We might see maybe a bigger pullback first because it kind of took some time here, but still watching. Waiting, waiting. Waiting. Still watching it like a hawk. It's slowed down in volume a little bit, but still paying attention here. Are we going to come down? Or will we hold tight? 7-6, 7-5, 7-4. There's 7-7. I'm adding. My ad is a little slow though. Waiting. Can we recover? Can we recover? Can we recover? Come on. Where are those bulls? We've seen a million bottoming wicks. Can we see one more? I'm adding again. Can we see over 75? Oh. Okay. Maybe I got too aggressive. Again, it's been a little slow to play out a lot of the moves. And that would have been a nice trade, though, I'll say that. And that would have been a nice one. I mean, maybe I sold too soon, too, because, I mean, it's kind of holding, right? It's a little tough, a little tough. I think this pullback is fine as long as it's not, like, ridiculously low. Taking some casualties. Come on, this has to be it, bro. KB, please, please. For good old RT. Can we see the beautiful bounce to 74, 75? Time. Candle has about 2.5 minutes. These are great trades, but I'm getting chopped out. We got that bottoming. To hold to that low is brutal, though. I mean, full 3 cents, kind of tough. I think I want to give it another, like, 15 minutes. And my mic is muted. I'm thinking, yeah, adding is messing me up a little bit, I think. Note to self, just one position because I'm my average is going higher, and I'm trying to have my average be above my cost basis. So it's a little easier to stop out because your average is pulled up in the trade. So we're seeing another bear flag. Just waiting throughout this flag here. How will we do over 7-2? Might be time to call it here if this one fails. All right, I think I'm gonna lock it in. Good day after the madness of the beginning. Good second half. So I'm gonna lock it in. Shut it down. All right, for those of you going till 4 p.m., stay disciplined, stay safe, stay green. This is where our tea is going to walk. But yeah, we gotta do a better job with the with the mental, with staying disciplined, with holding trades longer in the key areas. And if we can do that, bro, the opportunity is here for the taking. Whilst we did give back on IXHL, if we had that mindset through and through on the way up, we would have done miles better. Too much frustration, too much. From the moment I got that big red trade of 800, it's like not completely there, as in, and it's not even the loss that's bothering me, but the timing of the loss. Of like me sizing up, and then the stock is tanking. But you can't let that stuff get to you. Like, that's nothing. You know, just got to keep trading, stay locked in, stay focused. So hit the thumbs up. I'll catch you guys in the next one tomorrow again at 9:15 a.m. for another live stream. Stay safe, stay green. So ending the day at 28. Not a bad day. Catch you guys later. Hit the thumbs up. Stay safe, stay green. If you want to keep the conversation going, you guys can check out the chat room where the chat rooms open up 24/7. All right, the links are down below.